would love more than anything to become a pure artist. I would like to tell you a story. It's called Pureology, a love story. I was first introduced to Pureology about 7 years ago. I have naturally curly hair, and I was an assistant. This was the first job that I had in a salon, and I was not very good at styling my hair. My boss had given me the straightening serum that was in the blue bottle, gave it to me, told me to use it, and I was amazed at how easy it was to straighten my hair after that and how great my hair looked. So I went to the store and I purchased the shampoo and conditioner, and that was my favorite line of Pureology. Actually, it was my favorite hair products out of everything I had used. Shortly after that, I became a hairstylist and had my own chair. I stocked my station with all of Pureology hair products. Everything that our salon offered, it was in my drawer. Back then and now to this day, Root Lift, Blow Dry Amplifier, and now the Super Smooth Relaxing Serum, those are my 3 top sellers. Those 3 products, I believe, made me the hairstylist that I am today. That was just me being in love with the hair products. It wasn't until I took the Pureologist certification course that I actually fell in love with Pureology as a company. I learned so much about the history of Pureology and the background stories and how Pureology was the pioneer behind nanotechnology and exactly what nanotechnology was and what it meant for multi-weight moisture. And I was personally blown away. I came back from that certification course. My retail sales went through the roof because I couldn't stop talking about Pureology. I shared it with every guest that I had. I also love how Pureology is plant-based and natural, carcinogenic-free, and vegan. When I learned all about that, I fell even more in love with Pureology. I also think it's amazing that Pureology preserves all your hair color. For a hairstylist, that is very important to me because when my guests take home Pureology hair products, I know that the integrity of my work is now being preserved. And also, what I have noticed over the years, they love their hair more when they use Pureology than when they use anything else. And so to me, that creates client loyalty because when they leave me, they're at home loving their hair. And it is thanks to my recommendation and my prescription that I offer to them why they love their hair so much. And that just makes me more excited about what I do behind the chair. I started teaching the product knowledge class here in our salon because I think it's very important that you really know all about Pureology as a hairstylist and a hair professional. I think it's very important that you know how to use the hair products because if you prescribe the wrong medication, the patient isn't very happy and their illness isn't cured. So our job as hairstylists and hair professionals is to make sure our guests have a good understanding of their hair care systems at home and which one is made specifically for their hair types. I also think it's very important to know how to use all the styling lines. I didn't have that pleasure of knowing how to use each one until I became a Pureologist. I get very excited when I teach my coworkers and I teach that product knowledge class because I see the excitement that they have when I tell them a fact that they had never known. And for me, the reason I love doing that so much, and it's a pleasure for me to do that, is because their face, when they get really excited, is exactly how I felt when I first learned that fact. And I see the excitement in their face, and I'm reminded of how excited I was when I first learned that. For me, to be able to do that on a larger scale, to inspire more people, and for me to help educate more people, would be almost a calling rather than a purpose. And I feel that it's something I'm meant to do. And I would love to be able to do that on a larger scale and help more hair care professionals out there become better at what they do and to make more money. I think this is the best industry in the entire world, and I feel very lucky to be a part of it. And I would love to be able to share that and get more people excited and inspired about what they do as their chosen career. Now I'm going to demonstrate a technique. I have chosen today to do one of my favorites. I sometimes do it on myself, but it's a very nice up style. It's similar to that of a bun, so it's nice, sophisticated, classic, but at the same time it's not the boring old ballerina bun. It's very quick, very simple, and looks elegant. Michelle here is a high lift blonde with highlights. I'm going to choose to prep her hair with the Perfect for Platinum line. But before we do that, I'd like to run some precious oil through her hair and put her under the dryer before we start our demonstration. I'm choosing to use Color Max. I believe that this is a staple. I use it every day on myself, and I feel that everybody should have this in addition to their other leave-in treatments. Reason for that is it has a pH of 3.5, so it makes the hair feel like hair. It also acts as a sunscreen. It has a double dose of the anti-fade complex in there. So I feel it's very important to preserve the hair color. As a hairstylist professionally, I use this as a cutting lotion. So rather than re-wetting down the hair, I'll re-wet it with this. Now we are using the Miracle Filler. This is Michelle's leave-in treatment. Evens out the porosity of her hair. It has the keratin, and it makes the hair stronger with continued use. My third step to our regimen is going to be the new Highlight Stylist Gold Definer. The reason I'm choosing this is because it works really well with the Perfect for Platinum line, especially the porosity or the Miracle Filler, because it helps to further even out the porosity of the hair, strengthens the hair, and it has gold in there, which is going to add reflective tones to Michelle's highlights and help them stand out more. I'm going to prep Michelle's hair by utilizing what I've been calling a blow dry set. I learned how to do this when I took Pure Expert. The reason I like it is because I feel that it adds body to the hair, more movement, and because it is a set, it lasts. When I do it on my guests behind the chair, I've had repeat business. I've had more business for people coming back just to have me blow dry their hair because I have now been able to do something that they aren't able to do at home. So before we do that set and I teach you how to section, I'm going to get Michelle's hair about 80 to 85% dry by tassel drying her hair with my hair dryer and my hand. All of Pureology has heat protection in there. So that is why I can be confident in putting full strength heat on the highest setting on Michelle's hair and knowing that her hair is protective. Now I'm going to section out her hair according to the areas of the head with how the hair falls. I'm going to take the top up and through here, right here to the crown. Clip that off. We have the side. The reason why this is important is because where you section the head according to how the hair falls in its natural falling position, I feel that it gives you a better set that lasts longer because you're not trying to push the hair out of where it naturally wants to go. So back here, we have quite a large section. We have the nape and then we have the back. So I'm going to take from the top of the ears, divide that in half right in through there. So now I have the back section and the nape section. And then I'm going to divide this in half. I used to find sectioning as tedious until I learned that that is the only way that you can be in control of the hair rather than the hair controlling you. So we have our top, our sides, our back section divided in half. Now Michelle does have a lot of hair, more than the average person, so I'm going to go ahead and do 3 sections here. One in the full nape, and then right in through here, I'm going to continue and divide back in the half and do it that way. Reason for that is because of the amount of hair that she has, I want to make sure that my brush can get through it because I do not want the section to be larger than what my brush can handle. Now Michelle has naturally curly hair, medium texture, so I'm choosing to use my favorite brush, which is from Pureology. It has the natural bristles in addition to the vinyl. What I'm going to achieve with that look is a very nice smooth finish. So we're going to take it, smooth it out, blow dry, and then we're going to set that into a barrel curl using double prong clips. So while the hair is still warm, I'm going to clip it and allow it to set and cool in that position. Now this section up top here obviously is too big to do all in one. Now for my look, I want the hair to go back. So I'm going to choose another directional blow drying technique. And I'm going to set the head. And I'm going to set the hair, each section on base to get maximum amount of volume right up here. Section right here might be a little difficult, especially for how you're going to have to place your body in order to get maximum amount of volume and lift over here. So what I suggest, even though we don't want a lot of hair in our guest face, but if you just blow dry this way, using the brush here and then curling it up here, that way you're not disturbing the previously pinned sections and you're not going to hurt your body in the meantime. Before I take them down, I want to make sure that they have cooled so they are set. But prior to doing that, I'm going to use the Color Stylist Strengthening Control Hairspray. My reason for that is because this is a beautiful, nice, brushable hairspray. It has no residue. It's something that you can layer on top, but then go ahead and brush out and spray some more without making it sticky and without making the hair difficult to work with. Another hot tip that I'm going to demonstrate here too, I just learned this, is if you spray in short bursts, you're getting the actual product. When you hold your finger down on the button and you let it go on a continuous stream, what happens is the water starts coming out after that first burst of the product. So two things could happen. You can get frizzy work, because now the hair is not covered with hairspray, it's covered with some hairspray and water. And then also too, if you completely drain the can of hairspray, that's why you're left with that sticky, almost hard to use hairspray that's at the end of the bottle, and then the crust that comes up over there. Another thing that I would like to show too, you can see the direction of the hair, how it's all going back to the side, and then in the back, it's all going down. What I always recommend is that in short bursts, but following the grain of the hair to ensure more shine, less frizz. One more reason I love this hairspray is because it's a perfect hairspray for hairspray addicts, because they can go ahead and spray as much as they want and still be able to get their fingers through their hair. Now Michelle's the section that I just finished, Michelle's hair is still warm. So I would also like to point out a very good tip here as well. Now this brush is not a vented brush at all. And even if it were a vented brush, I'd like to show you just how to hold the hair dryer up against the brush using the concentrator. You don't want the hair dryer and the brush to completely meet and have perfect contact. What I always like to do is have it go up like that so you get the nice steady flow of air going through there, but there's no contact with the brush and the hair dryer concentrator. The reason for that is because if you put it on there and you block it, you can get the backflow coming in through here, and what will happen is you will lose the life of your dryer. Also too, you have the potential to burn the hair because there's nowhere for the hair to go, because there's nowhere for the air to go except right at the hair. So it will be blasted with that continuous heat, where if you can kind of just lighten up a little bit on there, you're able to get a smoother blow dry because you're not torturing the hair with heat. And also we know how expensive these tools are, so we'd like to preserve them. Now I'm going to take these pins out, but I'm going to use the cuticle polisher as a hair lotion on my hands. One of my other favorite products, Pea Size. It's a cream to serum, and that is why I love to use this one. Pea size amount goes in between your hands. Rub your hands together. The friction turns it into a serum. I think the reason why I like this product more than any other one that's out there for a finisher is because it is creamy, it's not oily. So you don't really get this oil slick on the hair, you just get incredible shine, even though I don't know if Michelle really needs more shine than what she has. So we can see this beautiful body. I'm choosing to use this brush for the same reason I chose to use the other brush. It has the natural bristles in addition to the vinyl bristles, varying in different lengths. It really helps to smooth the hair out. So we're going to brush Michelle's hair out. Now, it's almost sad that we're going to be putting all this hair up, but look at what that blow dry set can do, and look at that volume that she gets with all this movement in the hair. And as I stated earlier, the best thing about this blow dry set is that this will last and it will hold throughout the whole day. Okay, so now on to my bun. I'm going to start out with the ponytail. So what I'm going to do is take a clear rubber band and attach 2 closed pin fasteners, just like that, to the rubber band. I'm going to use my brush to brush everything back so I can keep her hair nice and smooth. You can see how my hand is. I have my 4 fingers here, and then right underneath I have my thumb that's holding the rest of the hair. I have found that's the easiest way for me to be able to put everyone's hair up in a ponytail, especially when they have a lot of hair like Michelle. Now for this particular look, what I'm going for, I would like it nice and sleek at the sides and up at the nape, but then have this nice volume up here. I also believe that when you are doing an updo and if you have the opportunity to wash them first, it's always great because it's all in the setup. So now here I have a great amount of volume that I didn't need to back comb because of how I set up my sectioning and my blow dry. Now I'm going to take my rubber band with the clothespin fasteners, 1 pin I'm going to put up at the top, anchor it in. Then this pin is going to guide. Okay, I'm going to anchor 1 pin here at the top of the ponytail, and I'm going to use this pin to guide all the way around the ponytail. Now, because Michelle does have thick hair, and I want to make sure that this is going to last and stay, I'm going to do a second one. The reason why doing a ponytail this way, rather than wrapping the hair in and through and looping it through a pin, less friction, and it's going to be a lot easier for her to take out. Now since I started my first one at the bottom, or at the top, I'm going to start this one at the bottom. Alright, so now I have my beautiful ponytail, and I'm going to take it and divide it into two. I'm going to wrap each section around the base of the ponytail, one going starting this way and the other going the opposite direction. So I'm starting out with the one that's on my right. Now since I don't have a lot of length, I'm going to have to compensate for that with a little bit more hair. So I'm going to use this tool, and I'm going to lightly lace this section to offer me more of a cushion. So now you can see I'm going to take the hair and I'm going to start twirling. I'm going to take the hair and start placing it around. Right in through there. I'm going to take a clothespin fastener. I'm not going to open it, but I am going to lightly take it and anchor this into the base. Just like that. Now since I took the right side and went from the top and around, I'm going to take the left and go from the bottom and around. Or you could go on this side and go from the top and around and just make whatever shape that you would like. And again, I'm going to lace the left section. So now I have my right side pinned. You can see the little tail is coming out, so we're going to anchor that in a little bit more. And then just as we did on the right side, on the left side, we're going to want to lace again. So now I'm going to take this, and just as on the right side, I started from the bottom and went to the top, I'm going to take the left. And I'm going to take this and go to the top as well, but in the left side direction. Now here I'm fanning out the hair a little bit because I want it to make this shape. Almost like a figure 8. And then the only thing that I would want to change is I feel that I just need a little bit more hair here to make it symmetrical on both sides. So I'm going to take my first section that I pinned, and I'm just going to kind of widen that a little bit without fully disrupting my shape to hide that space, that hole that I had created. And then I'm going to continue and do that down here as well. Now this one I am going to open, and I'm going to combine the two sections here so they look as if they are one. Now to smooth things, I'm going to use the strengthening control, following the grain of the hair. But before it dries, I'm going to take the tip of this